All right, cool. All right, can you see me?
I can see you.
All right, you ugly
You see
nigga.
me?
Yeah, I can see you. You ugly. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm handsome Dean.
All right, man. Hey guys, welcome to my brother Riyadh. He's in the house.
What's going on? What's going on?
He's a blacker version of me. All right, man. Go ahead, bro. I'll let you just take it away.
Yeah. I have a quick monologue. I'll try to condense it as much as I can, but we discussed this the other day on the phone, and just to preface before I start, obviously I'm, relatively devout. I do take the religion pretty serious, and very proud to be Muslim. But I haven't memorized the Quran. I've read through it. I've read through a lot of the Bible. Religion does interest me, and so I do like to get into comparative religion and things like that. So this kind of plays into this topic, but ultimately we were discussing whether the United States is a Christian country or not. I do believe that the U.S. is a Christian country, but in a very specific context that's really important to highlight. Obviously, the law that we use to govern our country has, you can argue it has some motivation or inspiration from the Bible or the oxymoronical term Judeo-Christian values. But I do believe the US is a Christian country because of things like WASP, right? White Anglo-Saxon Protestant men who did find this country and build it up from what it was to what it became until immigration, which is a topic that I don't really want to get into right now because it's not so PG. But the first thing that I like to go over, and right now I'm looking, sorry, I know the camera's right here, but I can see my camera here, my screen here. The first thing that I like to get into is the US Constitution obviously makes no reference of Christianity or anything like that, and there is a separation of church and state, but the culture and the societal norms that this country is founded on, this country stands for today, are more closer to Christianity than anything else. I was just telling my brother the other day, like, being a Muslim in the US does mean to some degree you're not necessarily outcasted, but you're definitely the anomaly, and you're definitely a lot more rare to come across. I mean, even at work, when I step away to pray or anything like that, I'm bombarded with questions. And, in one instance, I remember I was praying, and this is all going to tie back, but this is just a funny example. And this is to drive my point home because I think we take this conversation too literally rather than from a general context. But I remember when I was praying in one of the rooms in my building, somebody had passed by and they thought that I was, obviously Muslims pray like this. And they were like, they came to me later on in lunch and they were like, what were you doing? Were you thinking? And I was like, wow, like a lot of people have no clue about Islam or anything like that. So it's just really hard to say that this isn't a Christian country. One may argue it's a secular country, but I just disagree. And the reason for that, and something that's kind of common in Islam is the question of, meat being permissible in the United States. And anytime a scholar is asked this, like maybe Saleh al-Fawzan or a student of knowledge like Asim al-Hakim, they go on and say, well, because the United States is majority Christian, at least by culture and practice, they may not be the most religious, but they do affiliate with the religion. Their meat is halal or permissible. Obviously, there's a difference of opinion on this. Please, let's not get too into the weeds. It's very nuanced and a very, very debated about topic, and it's super hot. So just take that at face value. And they call the United States a Christian country. And obviously, my brother here had put up that clip on Twitter, but there's other clips that you can find on YouTube of scholars mentioning that the United States, if you have a hard time finding halal meat, maybe if you live in the Bible Belt or something like that, then you can make do with the meat that is slaughtered by the Christians or the Jews, which are considered people of the book, but obviously they make up a minority of the United States as well.
Would you say the general consensus, Riyadh, in the is that when it comes, like, most scholars, I guess maybe because I know you said it's a contested topic, but would it be fair to say that most scholars agree that the United States is a Christian country?
Yeah, certainly from a culture aspect, absolutely. And I
Okay.
think that's the most important thing to mention is that the United States is culturally Christian, but secularly or legally it's secular. And
That's a good distinction, actually. Legally, it's secular, but culturally, it's Christian. That's a good distinction there.
right. And that stems from the fact that Protestantism is kind of the majority denomination in this country. And what you'll find in the Protestant faith or the way they go about the religion is that I've heard many label it this way, and they don't all say this, but it's a relationship with Christ, if you will, quote unquote, rather than a religion governed by laws and things like that, which Islam very much is. Islam is a religion of course, Islam covers everything. That's why I follow Islam because I feel like it misses no mark. But in the Christian faith, they don't really have a set of laws or anything like that. That's kind of fulfilled with the crucifixion and things of that nature. I don't want to get too in the weeds of that. but that's kind of how they go about that. So from a legal standpoint, no, it's not necessarily Christian, but from a cultural standpoint, from a societal norm standpoint, it is 100% Christian. And I think to say otherwise is a little bit disingenuous. Does that mean, and I think Muslims hear that and think that that means that they don't have a place here. No, obviously you have a place here.
Yeah, they get so mad, dude. That, like, they think like you're trying to like little bro them or like shit on them and be like, get out of my country or some
Oh,
shit like that when you say that.
yeah, and of course, you know, the way you go about it is funny. You know, sometimes it's a bit of rage bait and they get mad, but it's true. I mean, it's not a Muslim country, that's for certain. Uh, I'm not going to mention the other religion right now. I was going to make a joke, but we're on YouTube. But
No, we ain't on YouTube, nigga. You can say what you want. I already know.
well, yeah, obviously, you know, there's a disproportionate amount of control by other religion in our government, in our Congress, and how that's lobbied. But that's a topic for another day. And might I also mention,
Chat, all I'm gonna say
you
is
know,
aware. He's very aware. Okay,
yeah,
we're on the
of course.
internet, nigga. Like, I'm not gonna have my brother jam himself up. You know, I'm gonna tell him shut the hell up but he's aware. That's all you guys gotta say. I gotta say. But go ahead, go.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's a Christian country, I think, from a societal norm and culture standpoint, and nationalistically, I think that's the most important way to emphasize it. And I think that's the most accurate way to describe it. Of course, Islam has a law that governs its countries, like in the UAE or so on and so forth. And
Do
that's
do
because
they
Islam,
follow strict Sharia? UAE? Probably not, right?
they do follow a form of Sharia. Yeah, they
Okay.
do.
Okay.
They follow pretty much Saudi, the UAE, and many of those Gulf countries do follow the Sharia law.
Are they
And I
cutting
mean, hey,
hands off if you steal?
it works.
No,
It
no, but
works exactly.
are they cutting hands off if you stealing shit? Like that type Sharia?
So, so Sharia is all dependent on what a ruler is going to say. So there's no
Okay.
one size fits all kind of answer. If somebody steals for a really petty or stupid reason, then potentially that could be the punishment. But if somebody's stealing because, let's say, they're hungry, or somebody's stealing because of, you know, I don't want to say a justified reason, but a lot closer of a justified reason than a kind of violent and unexplainable reason, then in that case, it's brought to the court, to the ruler, and then he makes a decision based on the context surrounding that. And that's how Sharia works. It's not a one size, like if this guy is, you know, homosexual, we throw him off a building. Like, that's not how it works, and that's a common misconception from a lot of Westerners as well.
Can you
But Sharia
clarify
is
for
very
them
rigid.
what do they do? What do they do with gay people then? Can you clarify to them because that is a lie that they say they throw them off buildings. That's not true at all.
Yeah, it's not true. I mean, look, there is a difference of opinion in regards to how to govern Muslim countries. You obviously have a little bit more of a rigid Islam, which is Salafiyah, which is kind of like the, you know, righteous predecessors, if you will. And I think probably one of the more authentic ways to go about the religion, and not throwing gay people off the building. And look, if you're gay in a Middle Eastern country, you don't say you're gay. You'd have to be really stupid to do that. And you're not outwardly gay. And the UAE is very strict on enforcing that. As we saw Qatar, when they were hosting people for their sports events, you know, they weren't playing that. They're like, hey, look, you can be gay all you want, have your boyfriend or have your girlfriend if you're a girl, whatever it is, but don't show that and don't be outwardly
Yeah.
expressive about
No
it. And I think
PDA.
that bare minimum ask, yeah. And so if there's speculation that you're gay, you're not like brought to this council where they're like, all right, we're throwing you off of a 40-foot building. That's not how it works. Rather, public display of affection, especially in a homosexual manner, can result in imprisonment or fine or something like that. But no throwing off buildings. Yeah, that's a funny misconception and just, you know, Western mythology, but it is kind of funny. It's just not true though. It's not true.
Okay.
And then the compatibility, to tie it all together, the compatibility of Islam and I guess Western culture. I mean, look, Muslims can assimilate here, and they have done that for hundreds of years. And I think that they've done that in a relatively successful manner. We're really not barging in or intruding when it comes to American culture in a really bombastic or obvious way. Obviously, you have Michigan and you have some. I was going to say Somalia. Oh my God, you have Minnesota.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
um, and you know, I can understand why somebody who is on the right and somebody who might be white is upset by that or bothered by that, and so that's totally understandable. And I think it is important for Muslims to assimilate to some degree. And you know, the whole Times Square issue.
Yeah.
I
What are your
mean,
thoughts on
look,
give them your what's your take on praying in public from someone, you know, you pray 5 times a day, you know the Quran front to back, you probably know more surahs than all these niggas talking shit to me on Twitter. What are your thoughts on public praying and how should we go about that?
yeah. So I mean, look, there's many aspects to it, but to cover it with a blanket. I do think that it's a little bit counterintuitive to pray in a place like Times Square. Obviously, I believe when they were praying, it was Ramadan, and so they have the night prayer called Tarawih, in which they pray for
You want
a
me to show you the
long
video,
amount of
bro?
time.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I've seen all the videos on
You
X and
seen that?
everything
Okay,
like
all right,
that.
all right.
So yeah. And look, me personally, I don't agree with it. I don't think that it's necessary. I think that New York is one of the places that actually has a lot of masjids. There's plenty of masajid and plenty of room for people to pray. I did hear some people saying that there weren't room in masjids that day. I don't really
Yeah,
believe
it's
that.
cap,
I
bro.
don't think that's the case because for the last however many said years, I didn't see us praying in Times Square. So I think there was room in masajid. I think it's
Bro, New York
something
City
that
has like the some masjids everywhere, bro. There's a lot of Muslims that live in
Yeah. New York City, I believe, has one of the highest Muslim populations in the United States, if not the highest for that matter. So, without a shadow of a doubt, I don't think that it was smart. There is scholarly consensus and a lot of valid scholarly opinion from legitimate scholars like Salih ibn Uthaymeen, who say that praying in public, especially in the street, if you're blocking traffic or if there are lights distracting or anything like that, that's makruh. It's not haram or anything like that. I don't want to get into halal and haram because that's not what it is, but it's makruh, meaning it's disliked. So it's not really
Oh,
preferred or
another
like.
thing for you niggas. My brother is a fluent Arab speaker as well. Okay? So, you know, ما عربيكم مكسر زي أنا.
Yeah. I mean, I can speak better than you, that's for sure.
Yeah,
You're
you're
getting better though.
yeah, it's
You're
just
getting
trash,
better.
bro. It's trash.
You're getting better.
I got to work with the
I
but
was impressed the other day when you were speaking for a second.
I had some practice.
Yeah.
But
But
anyway, sorry, keep going, bro. Go ahead.
yeah. So it's disliked to pray in a roadway or block traffic or anything like that. Now, one might argue no one's driving through Times Square, people weren't bothered. That's fine, but there's still lights everywhere. There's still people everywhere. I think it's more appropriate to pray in a masjid. Not only that, but I think Muslims have this idea like, oh, this is da'wah. And sure, you may think that, and I would think that they're innocent in thinking that Muslims want to invite everybody to the religion, and so do Christians. They evangelize very hard, and they're in the streets, and that's kind of how we all are. We want everybody to like our religion and see it. But I do think it gets to a point where it's counterintuitive, and you're kind of scaring people away or making people think that you're showing off, and that's also another issue. Are you showing off? And that's a question you have to ask yourself. Of course, God knows our intentions, but that can be problematic as well from the Islamic faith if you're showing off. That is a major sin. So I thought that it was a bad idea. I'm not really in favor of it.
So
I'm
that's an
definitely not
important
like.
distinction. So you can make the argument then that when people are praying in Times Square or in front of the Empire State Building or some place of Western significance, that can be interpreted as showing off.
Yeah, I mean, to somebody viewing it, they might think it's showing off from an
Because let's
Islamic
be honest, bro.
perspective.
Me and you talked about this many times. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's asserting dominance. Like whether they mean to or not, it's gonna come off that way to Christians and to other people that are there. And I look at it like, bro, this isn't our country. Why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Because let's keep, bro. If 50 Christians line up in front of the Burj Khalifa in fucking UAE, right, and they want to pray, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, they'll be pushed out of there.
I know went to Arif, right? Like we know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like
yeah, they'll be pushed out of there, and
that's a westernized country. That's a super westernized
very Western.
Muslim country, and they'll tell them get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah. Look, if Christians did a public demonstration, and they don't have a prayer like ours where they kind of have these ways to go about it. It's a lot more nuanced. But if Christians did have a very large demonstration in a iconic Middle Eastern place like the Burj Khalifa, for example, I definitely think that would have lasted a long time.
And the other important thing is the Burj Khalifa has no religious significance. It's their Empire State Building. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If I was to take apples to apples, we take 100 Muslims, have them pray in front of the Empire State Building, versus I take 100 Christians and have them pray in front of the Burj Khalifa. There's going to be problems with the Christians. They're going to get, at bare minimum, they're going to tell them get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a perfect example and analogy. I think that is very analogous to the situation in Times Square. And look, whether they're showing off or not, to touch on what you asked me prior to that, anyone can make the argument that they are, they aren't. What I'm saying is it's counterintuitive because it could come off that way. And now the da'wah is ineffective. And I do think that Islam is obviously the fastest growing religion anyways. I don't really see the need or the desire for a demonstration like that or to pray in Times Square. I do feel like, and not only that, you're khushu' and being focused. I don't know if it's all there.
Whoa, what was that word you used? Say that again to remember, these guys don't speak Arabic. Go ahead.
Yeah, khushu' or you're focused. So that's one of the aspects or the pillars of prayer that I've spoken about, where you want to be very focused in your prayer. You want to make sure that you're in an area of solitary or not confinement, quietness. So I don't know if Times Square is the best place for that. So that's why I make that argument, and I come at it from a different angle. And yeah, I mean, there might be people. New York is very liberal, so New York is not the best example, but there are people who might think like, yo, this is like this is a display of domination or control or power. So it can be an issue from that point as well. And look, us Muslims make up a very, very small percentage of the United States. So the whole like they're taking over, obviously we know it's Hasbara, but we do have to play our part too and be a little bit careful about how we do
Yeah.
these things in order to avert the condemnation or the feeling of being condemned. Because it's unfortunate, but a white culture is kind of dying, and the white birth rate is low. And so when they see these things, they're like, yo, we got to lock in, and we're kind of like already poking the bear. And I want to rather just like keep it where we are and keep our religions to ourselves. And we can do dawah and we can do tables, but the public prayer with the speaker could be a little bit more problematic, and that's when things gain some friction and become an issue. So that's my stance on that. And the compatibility with Western culture, again, obviously Islam is governed by any Muslim country is governed by Islam, right? Islam has rules set out for Muslim countries and how to go about banking and trading, and the Quran goes into all of this. So that's all covered. Whereas Western culture, it's a lot more, just to generalize it, because I don't want to go on a tangent, but to generalize it, Western culture is a lot more like the majority decides, rules are secular, what makes the most sense for the people, more so capitalism and things like that. So those things, of course, are incompatible. Islam is very, very different than the West, and neither are compatible with one another when it comes to governing. Obviously, culture, but you can argue that any culture doesn't really fit in here because American culture is its own thing. But certainly, yeah, from that standpoint, it wouldn't be compatible with the West. And you went on in your tweets to even mention gambling, the sex industry, alcohol. All these things are strictly prohibited in Islam. And sure, Christianity doesn't allow it as well, but Protestantism is quite loose. And the topic of alcohol can be debated and things like that. So it definitely is counterintuitive to what an Islamic country would look like, or a Sharia compliant country would look like. And the United States couldn't be farther from that, with all of the haramery we have in Miami or Las Vegas or even New York City. Man, I take a stroll around New York City. I'm like 40 minutes outside of New York, and it's super secular. So, and that goes sorry, leftist media defends Islam all the time, which, like, thanks, but the things they do are super haram as well. And everybody's supporting Mamdani, but Mamdani is he's a supporter of LGBTQ and stuff like that, which from the Islamic faith is not allowed. Of course, it's not even debatable. So you also have that nuance as well. It's like, yeah, there is some heat from the right going towards Islam, but it's also like, hey, the left is doing very problematic things that are super against our religion. I think it's important that Muslims stay consistent on both sides. I see a lot of Muslims left-leaning, when in reality we should be leaning in the direction of our religion. And that would actually be closer to conservative or traditional values in many instances. Not in all, of course, but in many instances it's closer. So that's what I have to say about that. But yeah, that's really it to tie it all together. I don't know if there's anything else I kind of missed, but that's kind of that tweet broken down in a little bit more of a scientific
They're saying Mamdani is Shia, which I don't know if you want to go into
yeah.
that.
And also, I mean, the nigga's a Shia, bro. So if you're a Muslim and you're a Sunni Muslim and you do respect your faith or your creed in your sect, then you should be offended by the fact that a Shia just won that election. I mean, I don't want to get too into the nitty gritty here, but from the Sunni perspective, and look, at the Shia watching, I don't want to offend anybody, but the Shia belief is incredibly heretical, and it's very problematic. And the things that they believe, I don't even know if I want to say, but to me, the way I view it, they're a very big issue to our religion, and make us look bad. I mean, these are the same people that are beating themselves in the street in Iran and Iraq, and these are the same individuals that have very, very distorted beliefs and skew the Quran and the Sunnah, which is the Prophet's tradition, and they skew that up to a mile. So, without a shadow of a doubt, I mean, I'll be honest, that was the first thing that ruled him out for me. I was like, yo, the nigga's a Shia. I would never vote for him, even if I lived in New York City. But his policies as well. Of course, I don't believe in socialism, and as well as the fact that he sympathizes with ideologies that I don't believe with. He's a Shia, bro. So if you're a Sunni Muslim and you're supporting him, you should really go and double take as to what Shias believe in and why there
So
cannot be a
does it go
over them
further?
in the United States.
Because a lot of people, right, especially like in Western media, the general consensus is they don't agree with the lineage, right, of who takes over after the prophet. Is there other things that are problematic with it? I guess if you want to explain it to the people.
Yeah, so there
Someone in the chat
was
said they're kufaris. I don't think it's that far though.
so there is a scholarly consensus by a lot of Salafi scholars that
Well,
Shia
Salafis are the
Muslims,
crazy ones, aren't they? Aren't they the most rigid?
yeah, they're the rigid ones, and not all of them are crazy. Actually, Salafiyya is the very non-violent kind of sect of belief in Islam, and where they don't do anything without permission of the ruler. And so you don't see a lot of backlash or things coming out of the Salafi movement that are violent, and that's because they don't move without authoritative rule. And that's one of the kind of pillars of Salafiyya. So yeah, they're very rigid and they're very strict, but I don't think they're as crazy as people paint them out to be. Now,
Okay.
of course, you will see all the extremist factions coming out of the Middle East and these Israeli augmented countries being Salafi, but of course, that's up for debate for obvious reasons. That's a different topic. Yeah, in terms of what the Shia believe, they believe in the Khilafah, or the people taking over the prophet's successors being in a different order. They believe that Ali, who was the cousin's prophet, should have taken over from the get-go instead of it being Abu Bakr, and then Umar ibn Khattab, and then the third one, Uthman. And then after that was Ali, but they believe it was in the wrong order. And they believe that these people who played a very big role in spreading Islam to places like Jerusalem and China and things like this, they believe that these individuals backstabbed the Prophet and that they're not Muslims. Not only that, but they curse the Prophet's wives and say that they were adulterers and that they were, God forgive me, whores. So that's just the tip of the iceberg as to why the problematic belief with Shias does not allow me to believe we can build a coalition with them. And until the day comes where the stakes get high enough, I don't think that it's an appropriate time to do that, especially in the United States. So that's why I'm really not a fan of anybody who's a Shia in terms of them governing our politics. And the last person that I would ever vote for is Mamdani, especially since he's a socialist. And I don't even need to get into why that's problematic. I don't really believe in that. But yeah, that's kind of some of the reasons.
If to make things simple for you guys, without getting my brother in trouble, basically he agrees with me politically on almost everything. Yeah, I'll just keep it at that. I won't really go too much further. You know what? I will. I'll have it where I'm sure these guys probably have questions for you, Riyadh. And shout out to you, man. Brave as hell coming on stream with your face on, nigga. Damn, man, what the hell? And bro, you slacking with the waves, man. Like, what's going on here? You should be. You're not brushing.
Bro, brushing hair is a waste of time, bro.
Yeah, it is a waste of time. You might as well cut that shit off, man. You get lazy.
Don't get mad. It's still here. It's still here, right? We're not fitting yet.
Yo, bro, yeah, but that shit is trash on the top, man. It's only on the side.
All right. I know. I don't brush my hair anymore. I don't know. It's just stuck there. Are you spinning, nigga? Your hair is straight as hell.
Well, hold on, bro. Hold on. When I had my shit going, I destroyed you and everything. So I don't even want to hear nothing. I cut my shit off because I just was defeating you so bad that there was no point for me to keep my hair.
I'll concede you did have better waves than me. You got softer hair than me. Yeah. So
what, nigga? No, you have the real naps. That means you could get the real waves.
My hair is much harder.
Yeah, you got the real naps, man. You're like a straight real black person.
That's not that bad. It's all right, man.
Yeah,
it's all right.
You got the real nigga hair. All right. So Ken Rose says, "Hi, Myron. Regarding Sneeko, Muslim prayers in public spaces and state rights. I don't live in New York, so it's not of my concern. Just my opinion." I don't get your question though.
I think he's saying you're allowed to pray in public.
Of course. Of course you are.
That wasn't the topic.
That wasn't. Yeah, it's not about whether it's legal or not. I'm just saying like it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
And my brother gave you guys like the religious doctrine for it. Okay,
in a mass demonstration, it's frowned upon. Yeah, like especially if it's blocking foot traffic and could be distracting for the prayer as well. Then that's when,
yeah, that's like praying outside or praying publicly like that is only like if you can't get to a mosque or whatever. But like, bro, these niggas are praying like in like public areas where there's a lot of foot traffic. Like they're not going in the corner and doing it. Okay, well, shout out to your brother, man. That was brave to come on and show his face with all the heat you get. Very well spoken. Y'all have the same face shape and big ass nose. All right, motherfucker. Yeah, he's my brother, just a darker version of me. You're just a hoe. Says little bro Waffen is a more articulate speaker than you, Myron. Reminds me of a Muslim black Fuentes. Nigga needs a channel. Hey man, if you guys like him, maybe we'll make him a channel. Peter Bailey, Myron, do you remember when your waves were spinning like that? Yeah, I do, but they were better. Honor says your brother looks better. Pose. Damn, boy, you guys are gay. All right, O/Gwerper W Broski, cool. Peter Bailey says, while you were in the feds, they cloned you. Bro, I don't think me and my brother look like you guys are saying, bro.
I don't know where this is. This is
I don't know where
Hasbar.
the fuck this is coming from. We do not look alike.
This is Hasbar.
You know what it is? It's because they're listening to us talk at this together and we sound alike. So like, oh yeah, these niggas are brothers. But bro, if we both walked into a store at different times, they would not know that we were brothers. They would not know.
Yeah, bro. Niggas just see two black people who
Yeah.
can kind of speak, and they're like, "Yo, you guys look just alike."
Yeah,
You don't
man.
look
A lot of niggas in the chat are white and beaners and shit, so they don't know. Okay. 503, my fierce brother, Myron and Malcolm. Okay. Nigga clone jutsu. Okay. I'm listening to the stream and your brother sounds white. W no monkey talk. Yes, my brother's is a college grad. He's not a dumb nigga, bro. You know. Peter Bailey twin. What's up, brothers? Ugly asses. All right, fuck you. JC Vance says, reverted 2 years ago to Islam. I also moved to Canada when I was 13. We're lucky to have mosques in the West. We need to be wise enough and think 5 steps ahead. Why we need to stay low-key and respect the host nations. Yeah, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro. And here's the thing. You guys got to understand. You know, these niggas, right? These guys, you know who I'm talking about? Them boys? Bro, they're pushing out the Hezbollah hard. They're pushing out the Hezbollah hard, trying to say that these guys are trying to take over, blah, blah, blah. And they got the influence, man. They got the media and everything. So I don't think we should, like, confirm the stereotypes. Alhamdulillah, your brother is Hafiz. May Allah reward him. Yes, my brother is very...
I'm not Hafiz, but I read through the Quran. Inshallah, one day.
Okay. Pop-Up says, since Sneeko Disingenuous Self says they weren't blocking anything at Times Square, which they were, what does he have to say about this? They took up an entire sidewalk in the Bronx, forcing residents to have to walk around them. Oh, did you see this shit, Riyad?
What is it?
Here, let me show you this shit, bro. Actually, it'd be really good for you to react to this. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay. Let me get this shit right here. See if I can share it by. Okay, right here. Can you see this?
Yes, I see it. October 3rd, I want to see the Bronx.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Hold on. No, I can't do that. That's hold on. Because I need them to see it and you to see it. So hold on one sec. Let me open up Zoom real quick. Hold on. Fucking technology, man. This shit's fucking lame. Hold on, man. Okay, hold on. I think I know what I'm going to do instead. Okay, that's not it. Close that. Okay. If I put this here. All right, chat. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I'm literally getting it here ready for you guys. Okay. Okay, hold on, making this thing bigger. All right. Can you see that? Yeah, you should be able to see it now.
Yep, okay.
All right.
You guys are praying on the sidewalk?
Yeah, look at this shit, bro, in the Bronx.
Okay.
Hold on, now I can show these guys. Okay.
I can't, because this is America.
But you cannot take us.
Who? Who said?
Me.
What gives you special privilege?
You cannot take us, please.
Who said that?
You cannot do that.
Don't touch my Happening right now in the Bronx.
Oh, wow, okay. I think I did. When was this posted? I feel like I saw this.
Like, it came out like a day or two ago?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, wow. So I'm assuming this is Jumat, this is Friday prayer?
Yeah, it's got to be Jumat, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so look, and we spoke about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, what's the caption? Let me see what he put.
Here, I'll just keep playing the video and then I'll show you the caption after.
Yeah, but I mean, look, in these instances, I think there should be grace. Now, I'm not really sure exactly the situation here. Obviously, look, if the masjid is filled out, because if you've been to Friday prayer, it gets packed.
Yeah.
Especially in Ramadan. But
The caption is,
Eventually-
it says here, October 3rd, NYC, the Bronx, a man was on his way to pick his kids up from school. This is what he came upon. He said, in 30 years living there, he had never seen Muslims praying on a sidewalk like this. Buckle up, it's only going to get worse. That's what this dude is saying.
Okay. So one thing,
Mhm.
I would like to believe that guy is lying. If you've never seen a Muslim praying in public in New York City, that's probably cap. Because I've seen it before, and I'm not in New York every single day. But I guess in mass congregation is what he might mean. Regardless, yeah, I think on Friday prayer the mosques are really packed, and so that's why you'll see people kind of leak onto the outside,
Uh-huh.
and that kind of happens in where I'm from. The mosque that I go to in Ramadan, we go into the parking lot. Obviously, New York is a concrete jungle shithole. There is no parking lots. Everybody's on the sidewalk in the streets like monkeys. But I hate New York City. But
Yeah,
regardless
it's the worst
of that,
city in the world, bro. It's just
yeah,
trash.
I hate New York City. But regardless of that, I mean, look, I can understand the point of concern, but that's only one day a week, and that only happens when the mosque is filled out. But we do need to find some sort of, issue to remedy that. And I'll tell you, as somebody who has prayed outside before, it's not comfortable. No one wants to pray on pavement or concrete. So there does need to be some expansion project that can happen for these mosques, or mosques to accommodate more space, or Muslims need to find ways to disperse to other mosques evenly. I mean, look, if the prayer leaks outside, the prayer leaks outside. Me personally, I don't think it's that deep, because it's only going to last for 5 minutes. It's one prayer on Friday. It's not like they're praying the night prayer in Ramadan where they're there for hours in Times Square, or 30 minutes even. It won't even take that long. So I think that that's a little bit more of a smaller issue. And to make a tweet about that shows that you're probably not paying attention to the larger issue. But ultimately, yeah, mosques in New York City are really small, and that is an issue. But I mean, again, what in New York isn't small? Everything is really small, and that's because there's 8 million people living on top of each other within like a mile. So
Yeah. And
it's
New York City just is trashed with everything, bro. Because like the same thing with like the 13th Avenue when it comes to them boys, like they took over too. So it's like it's just there's a problem in New York City in general with everybody pushing all their shit all over the place.
Also, exactly. Also, if you're gonna complain about Muslims leaking onto the street for 5 minutes on a Friday, which might not even be every Friday, and then they quickly pack their things up and go back to work because Jummah is during work hours, or the Friday prayers during work hours. Well, then I hope I'm seeing consistent frustration on the other side when you're in places like Crown Heights, Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, where we can see a large lack of assimilation, if you will, from another subsect of people. So, and I'm saying that as discreetly as I can. For those who can piece that together, go ahead and do that.
Well, this is
But
why New York City just sucks. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, New York City is only appealing to people that like aren't from the Northeast, bro. Anyone else that like has been in New York City or lived there or anything like that, like it's fucking garbage, bro. It sucks. Like I don't know why people even bother.
Smells like shit. There's people on top of one another. I mean, I guess it's fun every once in a while, but to be there for more than 4 hours or 5 hours is criminal. I can't stand New York. So I agree with you there. I agree with you there. And you were born there.
Yeah, it's just trash.
It says a lot coming from you. I wasn't born there, thank God.
And well, I was there in the worst time, man. The 90s was the worst time.
90s
the 90s was the worst time. Before Giuliani even came in, it was horrible. So it was very bad.
Yeah, when Dad was getting robbed at gunpoint in a cab. Yeah, that's when New York was definitely great.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, let me make sure there's nothing else here for you.
Sure.
All right, I think that's it, bro. Yo, thank you for coming on, man. Is there anything else you want to tell the people or anything like that, or where they can? I mean, I don't know if you want to drop your Instagram again, but
yeah, you could. It's fine. You could find me on Instagram. It's RYADFUDL.
I think you gave the full government. Damn, bro.
Not a secret anymore, bro. Your last name's behind you.
Yeah,
and then that's really it. Hopefully I covered all bases here. I didn't really have anything else to say. Maybe I'll point you guys to a platform soon one day, but for now, this guy's leading the charge, and I'm behind him every step of the way. And we will gain power, we will gain influence, and we will change the country for the better one day, God willing. So that's really all I had.
All right, man. Yo, thank you, bro, for coming on. I really appreciate it. Especially with all the, because you get recognized and stopped now, so it's like I feel kind of bad.
Yo, bro.
Yo, like,
bro. Let me just say this, bro. I get glazed via being your brother, and it's actually really annoying. Like, people will come up to me like, "Yo, you're Myron's brother."
But you get harassed too, though, right?
And then bring me through like a 20-minute line of questioning. And yeah, I have actually gotten very rarely. We all know in person people are a lot less confrontational, but I have been approached and a negative manner one time that was quite surprising for me. And the person who knew pieced it together in some really FBI operative way, some Fed way. But
What did he say?
yeah, I definitely.
Well, you didn't tell me about this. Well, what happened? You didn't tell me about this shit.
So someone came up to me and they were like, "Hey, you're Sudanese, right?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And they're like, "Well, I know some guy who's also Sudanese that's really famous, and you guys kind of look alike." And I'm like, "I don't know. There's a lot of famous Sudanese people." And
Not
they
really.
went on to mention my name, and they were like, yeah, I mean, yeah, not here, maybe in Toronto and stuff, like some rappers, but they were like, "Oh, is it, Myron Gaines?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's my brother." And then I kid you not, the space that I was in, I didn't care to like, I'm in public, like I'm not about to get into a political discourse or debate. They were like, "Well, do you believe this and do you believe that?" And so I catch a little bit of a backlash here and there, but I mean, I kind of just dox myself, so it's fine. It's whatever. I don't care. But even before this, people would kind of piece these things together. And I think that's because there's not a lot of Sudanese people that have influence. Not that many.
There's none, bro. I can't think of anybody.
Yeah, there's a few. I can't even think of them off the top of my head. I've
Nah,
seen
bro,
them.
they're all Somalis and Ethiopians, bro. It's just us.
Yeah, we got to get our motion.
We don't
up,
got no motion, man.
Yeah, we got no motion.
Yo, all those guys,
Okay.
all those people you think are famous are Somalians, bro. The pirate
The
niggas.
motion's coming from this corner, nigga. They'll see.
Yeah, bro.
Get
We're the only ones.
you're
We got to take it over because I'm telling you, man, these pirate niggas making us look crazy.
You're the forefront of the movement. Yeah, Somali's got a lot of motion, bro.
They do.
That's unacceptable. We got to catch up.
It's super unacceptable. Yes, let's go. Let's go with that racism. Yes, it is unacceptable. We got to take
They got
over,
a lot of
bro.
motion, bro. We got to catch
These
up.
niggas don't even speak Arabic, bro. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, yo, like what?
Yeah, we're better, aren't we?
Get these poverty Africans the
Better.
fuck up out of here, man.
Yeah, well, you definitely. I look like really black. I mean, you're black too, but
No, I never get. They never know I'm Sudanese though, bro. Ever. They
yeah,
never
that's
do.
brain dead. You do look more Arab than I do, so I don't know how that doesn't happen. But
It doesn't, bro. They think I'm Ethiopian, bro. I just take that shit as an insult, man.
yeah,
When
damn.
people call me Somalian or Ethiopian, I should get fucking pissed, bro. Do I look like a fucking pirate? Is my name fucking Blackbeard? Like, what the fuck is this, man?
Somali is crazy. I'll be honest.
That's
When
an
I'm called
insult.
Somali, I've been called Somali a handful of times, and I was a little bit upset, and then I had to act like I didn't care.
Yeah,
But
bro.
that's
Like, yo, you got a pretty
yeah.
crispy hairline. You don't got a big forehead.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's an insult, man.
Yeah, there are some very, very telling features about a Somali person that you know right away when you're talking to one. So for people to call me Somali, it's like, are you rage baiting me? Are you trolling me? But it's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine,
bro.
whatever.
Yeah,
We're all black. We're all black. So we're all black.
No, we're not, bro. We're not black,
We're just grouped together. No, that's what they say.
bro.
So
We're
just
not,
grouped together,
bro.
I
We're
guess.
tethers. You heard about this, right? We're tethers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're tethers, bro. We're not really black. Some guys in the chat are saying you actually look black, but unlike me, unlike me. But
Yeah, I'm more than you.
Yeah.
I think so.
yeah, bro, guys, this nigga, yo, you got some good lighting, bro, because you dark as hell, nigga.
Yeah, well, I did that on purpose. I got the window right behind the damn screen, nigga. I don't have professional lighting like you. You want to flip your camera to your $1,000 lighting setup? I can't get that.
Yeah,
So
man.
we gotta get the natural sunlight where we can.
Yeah, man, because like, yo, who's darker, you or Fresh?
Bro, Fresh is darker than me. We're not doing this. Wall's darker, bro. We're not doing this. We're not. I don't know if we. I could have sworn we had a picture. It's gonna take me forever to find it. But I think that he's darker than me. Not by a lot though. I will admit I'm a black ass nigga. Like I'm dark, but he's a smidge darker. There's a difference. There's a difference there. So
Fair enough, man. But no, it was as you guys can see, my brother has a good sense of humor, man. We make jokes all the time. He actually has a real job though, so we got to keep it. You know what I mean? I can't go too crazy. Yeah, no, yo, thank you so much for hopping on, bro. I hope I didn't wake you up or anything else like that, because I know it's your day off. It's fucking Veterans Day, man.
yeah, it's Veterans Day. Shout out to the veterans. No, you're
I'm
good.
I'm going to Ohio today. We're gonna be at OSU.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that in 2 days? No.
No. I'm well, I fly tonight and then I'm gonna do my shit tomorrow. You want to go? You probably
Okay.
got work and
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
but
Well, I got work. You should. Damn,
Don't worry about it.
Last week, I could've
don't worry
took
about it.
time off.
Come with me to
Bro,
the
I
next
can't-
one. Come with me to the next one.
Us in the Matrix, since it's been so long since you've been in the Matrix, let me remind you, we can't just, call off of work and do what we want. We're actually slaves and sit down and listen to somebody for 8 hours. So until I don't have to do that, you can't give me last minute notice.
Yo,
But,
what was that term that you used for when niggas say shit that's like a career ender? You had a very funny term for that shit.
I think I said the Matrix ender. Like there's certain there's certain things you cannot talk about or speak about, especially in a given situation like this, where you will end your Matrix life. So, and here's the thing, that's a positive, but do you have an emotion, nigga, to get out of that Matrix life? That's the question. So you got to be very careful about how you speak about these topics. And that's actually, not to start yapping, but that's why a lot of people, and I hope people are in here watching this, please be very careful about what you're saying in public and what you're saying at work when it comes to these topics that we all know we speak about every single day. And please don't sound stupid about it, because a lot of people discredit the movement. So you got to be very careful, man. You can't always be edgy and Mr. Truth. You got to have some discernment.
Bro, I tell these dudes this shit every day, bro. I tell them, niggas be like, yo, I red pilled my cousin on them boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I told my boss about the Rothschilds and shit. I'm like, bro, guys, stop, man, stop. I like that the term that you use is so. Guys, don't fucking use these comments. Don't use these Matrix ender comments, bro. Some of y'all got to stay in the Matrix a little bit longer, right? Get your money and then you can escape the Matrix. But bro, don't end the Matrix before you need to, man.
Before you have an emotion to make something of it, yeah. And it's like people. I think it's this excitement that people. And look, I consider obviously I'm Muslim and I'm Arab to a degree, so I've kind of understood a lot of these topics before Western media and Western culture kind of caught on to it. And so for me, it's not as jaw-dropping to hear these notions and these, I guess, quote unquote conspiracies or things that my brothers speak about a lot, or guys like Nick. But to be bombastic.
For those of you just joining the stream, my brother's tapped in with all this shit, bro. Trust me, he's red pilled on this topic more than all Muslims are. I think all Muslims are naturally. And if
a lot of Muslims are,
bro.
And if you're Arab, there are countries.
If you're an Arab or you're from the Middle East, you're automatically red pilled on this shit. Automatically.
Yeah, our countries have been subject to a lot of the BS that's happened due to this particular topic. So I think that we are all naturally red pilled on it. But a lot of people are finding out about it, getting excited and hurting themselves. So you just got to be really careful. You got to be really, really careful. After time and you start to develop more knowledge on it and learn about it, you don't have that desire to tell everybody, because you realize not everybody has the capacity to even understand these things, accept them, and then spit them back out in an articulate way anyways. So it's a waste of your time to red pill a lot of people, because they're just gonna go, well, that doesn't make sense, even when you bring the facts. So it's a waste of your time ultimately,
Yeah. Well, anyway, bro, thank you so much for coming on, man. I will tell you if you want to come out to the next one, because I don't want to hire security, so I'll just get you for free, nigga.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
We ready over here. We ready over here. Just let me know, man.
Yeah, my brother. Yo, show us the error.
I can show. We're not gonna get in trouble.
No, we're on Rumble and shit. Show them the guns, nigga. Those are my guns, actually. I paid for them. But
so
okay, let's go. Let's go, baby.
They funded this one right here. This is a, what the hell was it? I don't know. The guy at the gun store really helped me with it. It is RF-15, I guess, Radical Firearms. It's a budget one. So the body was like $500-600. I got the sight on there. I got some ammunition. It came out to like $1,100.
Yo, said that, but okay. Get up and go ahead, take the tactical stance, man. Go ahead. We shoot that shit.
Well, hold on. The window's right here, but this is how I would have it here.
Okay, good. Good.
Put your face on the barrel.
Yep. That's good. Yeah, there's two places you could put it. You could put it in your chest, like right in the middle. When you got like when I had a vest, I used to put it right in my chest right here. Or you put it right in that. I
like to take it in the neck and then kind of get in there.
Okay.
And then I find 43X, which I think is outside. That's my EDC.
All right, I like it. Too bad you only got 10 rounds in that shit, you faggot.
Yeah, we're in Connecticut, man.
Nigga got 10. You got 10 rounds of that shit.
Yeah. 10. By the way, it's a fixed mag, so I have to manually load it.
That shit is gay. Yo, show them the fixed mag. Show you guys. Let them show. Yo, show these niggas the. Oh man, yo, Connecticut is so cucked. Oh my god, bro, you gotta get the fuck up out of there, bro.
By the way, I just had it in a case. If anyone thinks I have it open, no, I always have it in my safe. But so like right here, can you see that?
Yeah, bring it up to the camera. Bring it up a little bit higher so they can see. So guys, in Connecticut, yeah, yo, that's so gay, bro.
You have to manually load it and then close it,
bruh.
And then on the other side is a spring.
And
here's the spring right here, and then you would. It's already flipped up, but you would flip it up and then it loads it in, and then you would pull the hammer back.
Yeah.
So it's on safety, everybody. Don't worry. We're very big on gun safety out here.
Yeah.
But,
I taught my brother. My
Yeah,
brother's
yeah, yeah.
very
He did
safe.
actually teach me when I was like 11 or 12 years old. He taught me, and it stuck with me.
I taught my
So
brother
I'm
all
very
the
big on
fucking gun
safety.
safety.
Yeah, yeah. So that's that. But I'm
Yeah.
very happy about it. Brought it to the range, had some fun with it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, guys, as you guys can see here, yeah. You know, Connecticut has really, really lame gun laws, and that's from Sandy Hook, guys. For those of you that forgot, Sandy Hook happened in Connecticut, so they never
Yeah.
ever, you know, chilled out on gun laws there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So it's very, very rigid gun laws here. I think even New Jersey is looser, or other states in New England or tri-state for that matter. So it sucks, but we got them, and we'll use them as much as we can with the laws that we can work with.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, bro, anything you want to say to the people before I get you out of here, man? I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time on your day off, bro. Thank you.
Nah, man, no worries at all. I'm about to get to the gym. It's not too packed of a day, so not a worry there. Good to be on stream with everybody. Hopefully, you guys got a little more insight as to the whole topic that my brother tweeted about, and yeah, maybe one day I'll be able to plug my own stuff. But for now, I'm just a normie living in the world, and I implore everybody to support my brother, support the movement, and we'll get somewhere with this. All right, that's really all I got.
Yeah, and anytime I got questions on religion or anything like that, bro, I'll just call you or whatever, and I think they enjoyed your thing. As you guys can see, my brother is very smart. I'm very proud of him. You know, he's gonna be better than me one day. So, yeah, I'm very proud of him.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
Okay, bro.
it, man.
All right, I love you, motherfucker. I'll talk to you.
Call me. Have fun at Ohio State, man. All right.
All right, love you, nigga. Bye.
All right. Love you too. Peace.
All right.